Welcome to Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports, where husky middle-aged men share insight on the latest Baltimore sports news. From the bank to the yard and beyond, we're breaking down the Ravens, Orioles, Terps, and more. Baltimore's best sports podcast starts right now.
Well, look at us. Aren't we fan-damtastic? Wow. First intro ever, Halloween stuff in the background. Welcome to Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports. Mike's here. Jason's here. That's it. That's all you need. What else do you need on a Thursday, Mike?
It's spooktacular today, Jason. We got jack-o'-lanterns in the background. I've got my 6'7" costume ready for soccer practice tonight. I am ready to rock and roll and talk some Ravens on Thursday Night Football.
Fantastic. Oh, my goodness. So, okay, 6'7". Can someone tell me what the hell this is? My daughter has my 7-year-old running around saying 6'7", 6'7", 6'7". I don't even know what it means. Can someone tell
Nobody
me
knows what it means. That's the glory of it. It's just stupid. So it comes from some TikTok video where there was a rapper and they were ranking something. I don't know exactly. Everyone tries to give me a little bit of the story. I don't understand it. But all I know is that when I'm in a classroom full of kids and I'm counting them off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And whenever I say 6, 7, someone goes 6, 7. And then
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I always try to bring it up as much as humanly possible now.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so I wanted to tell you, so if those of you that don't know, I mean, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you should be well aware that two of Mike's loves in life are mayonnaise and butter. And we now make our own mayonnaise and our own butter. We no longer buy it in the store. It is incredibly healthier because you're still dealing with fats, but there's no processed stuff in it. You know exactly what goes into it because you're the one making it. So for instance, for butter, all you need is heavy whipping cream. I would suggest the organic heavy whipping cream that has only the ingredients on there, not the dextrose and and the xanthanum gum and all that stuff. And you add that in and you mix that bad boy for about 5 to 10 minutes and it turns into butter. And then you add a little salt if you want to make sweet butter, like one of the steakhouses with the rolls and the sweet butter and the stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
Done that as well. Fantastic. Same thing with mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is an egg and oil. That's it. Nothing else. We don't need to be. So I'm just here to tell you we're trying to go somewhat natural over here. It's a slow thing. We don't need the processed nonsense in our lives, but we're still achieving the deliciousness of butter and mayonnaise.
Does it taste good? That's the big thing.
Yes.
Does it taste?
Oh,
okay.
the butter tastes fabulous. Like there's no difference because we buy the grass-fed butter, the Irish grass-fed butter, so much healthier. Like we don't do the margarine because it's essentially plastic. So all the butter is but it's expensive. It's like for 2 sticks is like $7 now, and we the mayonnaise now we use avocado oil, which has like a neutral taste to it, but it's not the same as if you're using regular oil, which you are welcome to do. If you use a regular olive oil, that's a healthy olive oil, does the same thing, and yes, it tastes good. You can mix, depending on how long you mix it, the consistency could be thicker, it could be thinner, and then when we do the butter, what comes out of the butter, because you're squeezing it until it comes into that butter consistency, all the buttermilk comes out. So then you make ranch dressing with the buttermilk because you don't throw it away. So ranch dressing with like fresh dill and all this stuff. This is the Dad Bod segment, but it's a healthy version, And then you get the so then from there you can do sour cream and cream cheese. So there's all kinds of options.
You should start manufacturing these things. And do they travel well? Can you ship them up north here to the Frisky household? I mean, how's that work?
I don't know about the refrigerated products yet, but we can work on that. But I will tell you, the Jess is diving into what do you call that stuff? Making bread, sourdough bread. Apparently, it's this big thing, and the bread is very healthy. But she is on the way of doing that. And then we were thinking about Once it's mastered, we would go to some of the farmers markets and sell the butter, do different things because, I mean, you sell one pack of it for $5. I mean, the whole thing of whipping cream costs $7, so you've already almost made your money back. So that's what we're doing over here, Mike.
Can you make there's this one Mayo that plays for the Orioles. Can you make him stop striking out? That's the question.
Whatever he was eating and doing in September seemed to help.
Yeah, but, I like that version of that Mayo. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll save that for the Orioles section. I guess we were putting this off because you and I haven't been on the show together for about a week. Did you come up with a punishment for me you would like me to do, or you want to be continued it?
No, we can punish you, Jason, right here on air. Fantastic. I think would be appropriate. So I think what I'm going to have you do, and this punishment is because I had the pick'em segment, right? Or John and I tied or something you said last time.
You and John tied on the NFL game pick'em segment. I had a lot wrong, and you guys only had 4 wrong each.
Okay, so here is the deal. As much as humanly possible during the show, I need you to use the King's English. I need these and thous and wilts and thys. I need those types of words to appear out of your mouth, in any way possible as you can work them into the show.
Oh, man. Okay. I will try to do that, my best. I shall.
You shan't let me down.
I shall tease thou.
There you go.
Well, let's kick it off talking about the matchup for tonight. Kicking off week 9 of the NFL season, the Ravens and the Dolphins. So I believe, Mike, when I last saw it was like 6.5, or has it gone 7.5? I think
7.5 is what I saw last.
For a road team to be favored 7.5 on the road going into Miami, the Ravens are the favorite team the favorite for this game. I do think that the Ravens will win this game. I'm not convinced they're going to cover that 7.5, Mike.
Well, Vegas is making me feel better about the game, that's for sure, because maybe they know something I don't. The Ravens team that I've seen play this year hasn't beaten much of anyone by anywhere near 10 points. So, I mean, if you count the 3 points for being at home, whatever. I just think that this Ravens team is due, maybe, and I think maybe they're thinking the same thing. I think there's an automatic boost. You talk about this, Jason, sometimes. You get your quarterback back, you get those emotional boosts like that. I think that certainly helps a team like the Baltimore Ravens, who really have been struggling to find an offensive identity. I think last week obviously was a step in the right direction under the direction of Tyler Huntley, who did a nice job just kind of managing and getting a lot of people involved. I think he got 7 or 8 receivers involved in the offense, and it looked more like the Baltimore Ravens last week that we're used to seeing. The question to you, Jason, is does the defense continue the upward trend that we've seen with the Rams game and now recently with the Bears game, where we can hold a team under 20 points? Because Miami had a little bit of an upsurge last week versus the Falcons.
I guess what makes me nervous about this game is that in the past, the Ravens have always, Tua's given the Ravens a little bit of trouble here and there. And I'm not sold on Tua at this point, but I mean, the Dolphins are a mess just in general. So I don't know what that looks like. I do think that their offensive line has had troubles. I think that the defensive line of the Ravens should be able to get some pressure, cause a kerfuffle, if you will, and then I think that's the right. That
sounds like a good word. I like that.
It is. That's the King's English, apparently.
You learned that in Miss Easton's class, didn't you?
What they want to do is cause Tua to get bumfuzzled. That means, Mike, in the King's English, that means a feeling of nervousness or anxiety. We want him to feel bumfuzzled, So, yeah, with that being said, I mean, as long as they can get to the quarterback a little bit, cause some ruckus, do what they have to do, I do think they will. I do think that the Ravens are susceptible to the big play, which kind of scares me as well. When you think something has been achieved and you're going to get the quarterback and then everything breaks loose. I think Achane, I think he might give them a little trouble out of the backfield as well. But I do think that again, it's gonna go back and forth for a while, but I do think the Ravens pull it out. Like I said, Mike, I just don't know if they'll cover. I mean, what is your main concern? Is it the
So
defense? Is it the line? Is it
it's the
Lamar's
defense.
health?
Yeah, I think it's the defense. For me, like, running back, good running back scares me. A-Chain's, I think you would say, Jason, at least a top 10 running back in the league, probably, if not higher. You have Tyreek Hill being out is helpful because he's a big play guy that's not in their lineup. But Jalen Waddle's a pretty good receiver as well, and his target share has increased, obviously, over the last few weeks, and his red zone target share as well. So for me, a banged up secondary or a secondary that hasn't performed particularly well, having to cover Jalen Waddle. I'm just curious how the Ravens go about doing that, this evening. And I think he could be a guy who could get loose and cause some issues for the defense. Jason, Darren Waller, right, is the tight end down there in Miami, and Baltimoreans are familiar with Darren from his time here in Baltimore. But he's had a pretty good year, if I'm not mistaken. You're more online with the fantasy stuff.
That was correct, Mike. That was correct. Yes, he was one of those guys that kind of came out of nowhere for fantasy football. Like you saw his name come up as signing with the Dolphins, and everyone was kind of, he's not going to be my top 20 guy, top 15, like maybe in a bye week or something. And he started catching touchdown passes, where the tight end position is like the catcher position in fantasy baseball, or it's one of those things, like whatever you can get from that position, you'll take. It usually is touchdowns, right? You get like 40 yards and a touchdown, you're happy with that tight end. Unless you have somebody like with the Packers the other day, Tucker Kraft, go off for almost 35 points as a tight end. So, I mean, Waddle had been pretty consistent for a few weeks. He's banged up, though, still. Is he supposed to play in this game?
As far as I've heard, I'm familiar with Waddle because it's basically how I move. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm a little older now and I got a little bit of baby fat on me, so I'm very familiar with Waddle. However, I didn't check his status pregame.
Yeah, so I think Waddle. So Waller is who I meant when I was talking about tight end. He's been injured the last few weeks, but then Waddle, if he is in, I mean, Wiggins will probably. I mean, it came out in the media that he went to the Ravens and said, "I'd like to cover Devontae Adams." So it sounds like he's going to be covering whoever the number one receiver is on the other team. And who's lurking in a few weeks, Jamar Chase. So I think Waddle will be a great matchup for Wiggins. It'll be kind of a precursor to how things are going to be going forward. So I'm going to go ahead and assume they win this game, because that's going to be my prediction that they win. So they win this game, Mike. Then we have the trade deadline looming here very shortly. Obviously, to me, a loss shuts it down. I think they could deal some guys off, but as far as acquiring talent more, to me, isn't necessarily what I'll think they'll do. But if they win this game, I think they might get a head start on free agency on the trade deadline, and try to get ahead of these teams that haven't played yet this week and see who's out there.
No, I think that is an advantage that they have playing on Thursday night this week, is to get a jump start and to kind of see. Obviously, the win is the big thing, right? If they don't get the win, then what's the point in putting all your eggs in this season's basket? I just don't think it makes too much sense as far as your assets for picks and that kind of thing is concerned. I think you save those picks and you use them. But again, we go 3-5, and let's say Pittsburgh falls to Indianapolis, this week. Then you're looking at a 1-game lead for Pittsburgh in the AFC North, and we are right in the thick of it. And I don't see why the Ravens don't look edge rusher, or they don't look maybe guard to try to upgrade some of these issues, maybe defensive tackle to replace Nnamdi Madubuike a bit. So there's definitely areas of need for this Ravens team. Do they get a big name that's a young player? I'm not so sure. I feel like it's going to be a peripheral veteran that you're going to see added. You guys talked last episode. I heard you guys speaking about Calais Campbell and Kevin Zeitler, and I think both those guys would be great fits for this Ravens team in certain ways. But I don't see them trading like a second for like a Jermaine Johnson from the Jets. Like, I just don't see them going out and spending that kind of draft capital at this point in the season, 3-5, unless they really think that guy is underutilized and underperforming and thinks he's a stud and waiting. I just don't see them making a Roquan kind of deal or a Marcus Peters kind of deal. But maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised and they go get Max Crosby somehow. What do you think, Jason?
So I think Max Crosby is going to get moved. I think it'll happen after this season because he's banged up still. Like he was.
Yeah, he's banged up.
So that might be at the like I don't know who's going to get him, but he will get dealt. I think. Um, the guy I mentioned when I did the show by myself the other day has controllable years. He's only 28, I believe, and he sells that defensive tackle position, and he's one of the top tackles in the league. I don't think he'll cost you more than a second. I think maybe a third, but a second at the most. And there might be some sort of pick flop. Is Quinnen Williams from the Jets? And I'm thinking proactively because Matabike might not be back here. He might never play football again. So you need to solve that problem. And then you need to go in the draft. And this could be stuff we talk about later. And you have to build those trenches, both sides, tackles, defensive tackles, offensive, blah, blah, blah. Just go back and forth for a bunch of rounds. Whatever. Do what the Eagles do.
The Eagles style. Yep.
Dude, I'm telling you, you can never have enough. It's like in baseball, you can't have enough pitching. For NFL, you can't have enough 3 positions: cornerbacks, offensive linemen, and defensive linemen. Those are the 3 positions that and that's why they get paid so much. But to me, Quinnen Williams just stands out. The other one, and I didn't look into this one, and you had mentioned him a couple weeks ago, was Chase Young. I think he's still young enough. You get controllable football player who's still young that might fit into your scheme. Now, again, I don't want them going into the draft next year with no second or third round picks. But if they could trade one of those, a second or third round pick, and bring in a Quinnen Williams, then to me, that would be my main target. But Calais Campbell would be a lot cheaper and still very productive for this year. But I think that after this year, I don't know if he's going to retire or whatnot. But that's kind of where I'm standing, Mike. I don't know how you feel about him.
Yeah, I like Quinnen Williams. I think I think the fact that you're thinking in the future is the encouraging piece of that move, because if let's say Namde has a career-ending injury, then we are set up moving forward. Obviously, cap structure and all that, it's going to play a role in some of those signings as well. And I know they have a little bit of room to play with, which is nice because of the things they did previous, during the season, during the offseason, which kind of sets them up to be able to do something right now if they need to. I think the thing that worries me the most about the Ravens is I keep hearing cornerback again. So it's just like, it seems like a broken record about cornerback. That I heard like Deonte Banks' name mentioned and some of these other guys. I'm like, I get it, because Jair Alexander wasn't what they thought he was going to be when he came over here. It seems like they're trying to look and find somebody to like replace him. There was an article saying today, I can't remember where I saw it, but it was about, did the Ravens make a mistake getting rid of Brandon Stevens? And to me, like, no. I mean, he was a cover guy, but he could never turn his head. He was worth at least a big penalty, if not a big play a game, because he can turn his head around. And he was a good cover guy. He was a serviceable corner. But I don't think that they lost out in getting rid of Brandon Stevens. What they didn't do was adequately replace Brandon Stevens, it seems like, because they thought Jair Alexander was going to be an upgrade, when in fact it seems like he might have even been a downgrade from there. What are your thoughts on that, Jason?
I mean, I think Woozy, to be honest, he makes me forget about Brandon Stevens when he's healthy, when he's on the field. I mean, he's not spectacular, but Brandon Stevens was really good 2 years ago. Last year, he was not. So that was just never going to happen. I am so glad they didn't. See, they might have. I mean, when you have a player that you're around all the time, you get to see things that other teams don't get to see. And he was exposed terribly last year. So, I mean, a corner would be good. I don't know if you need a number 1 corner or number 2, maybe just some depth, because you never know what happens. I mean, once these guys start getting injured here, and I mean, there's still a good portion of the season left. And so get the guys that you possibly can. Wherever you think you need to make moves, go ahead and try to make moves. At least that's what I would say. Okay, so official prediction for this evening. I'll go first. I do have the Ravens beating the Dolphins tonight and continuing that comeback thing. I mean, I said that they'd win 6 straight going into Pittsburgh. This would be 2 in a row. What you say, sir? What say you, sir?
What saith I? I saith that the Ravens I say the Ravens win tonight. I think it's going to be I honestly think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Ravens are going to win 35-20. I think they're going to win by 2 scores. I don't know exactly, but something like that. I think the Dolphins will score a few points, but I think the Ravens will score a lot of points tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I said, it'll be closer. It'll be frustrating for a bit, I think. Lamar might have to knock some rust off. We'll see how it goes. I'm not overly nervous, but we'll see. All right. Next segment. Let's do our picks for week 9, Mike. Let's see if I can get punished again, or if I can come out victorious. Well, we'll see. As I'm not doing very good on this bet, I saith to you, if
you hath done poorly.
Okay.
All right.
All right, good sir. So let's see. Mike, we both took the Ravens to kick things off. The next game are the Vikings visiting the Lions, coming off the bye with a new quarterback, a new old quarterback, as McCarthy. What's his name? McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy. Yep.
JJ McCarthy coming off the injured situation, and will now take over for Carson Wentz, who's on. I guess he's out for the whole year. What do you say on that?
From whence he came, whence he has returned. He has returned to out for the season. Good old Carson Wentz. No, I like the. I mean, regardless, some would say irregardless, but that's not a word. But regardless, I think the Lions win this game. They're favored by 8.5 at home. I think they cover. I think they win that game.
I would agree. Yeah. So I'm going to take the Lions as well, as I do think that they're going to be the eventual winners of that division. Even though Green Bay's had a pretty good defense, I do like the Lions. And then next, the Falcons go into New England. They are 3-4, and New England is 6-2. I'm going to keep rolling with the Patriots, Mike. They have played very well so far this year. I know you had them, I think, get knocked off last week. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Patriots again. I think they take care of business.
Yeah, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, I'd say. That's what they said back in the day. Right. But I'm going to go
the Redcoats are coming!
Don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes. I think the Falcons, they bounce back a little bit this week. The spread is 5.5. I feel like they could cover that. But I do think the Patriots win. I do think the Patriots win at home. So I think it's closer than the experts think. But I do think the Patriots are – I mean, Drake May has been maybe one of the finds of this year. I did not know how good he actually was, but he has played consistently well game in and game out.
My own little plug, last year I ended up in a couple of my fantasy leagues that I ended up winning. I took Jaden Daniels in like the 11th, 12th round. No one was really paying attention because if you can get these quarterbacks, and you try to do the same thing this year with Bryce Young and with Cam Ward, if you can get quarterbacks later that, and I think that one of those guys, maybe not Bryce Young, but maybe Ward next year after being in the league for a year, will be able to do this. But guys that can run and pass, I mean, he ended up winning the league for me. I took Drake May in about the same spot this year. I let everybody else take their quarterbacks early, and I just kept taking. They're like, "Why are you taking receivers and running backs?" I'm like, mm-hmm. And there was somebody I wanted to take that was taken right before. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take Drake May," and I took him. And I mean, league winner, man. I'm telling you, he's my second quarterback in our dynasty league. So yeah, I mean, I'm real high on Drake May. Okay, the Bears traveled to Cincinnati. Well, this is a tough one because the Bears, I mean, they look good early on in that Ravens game, but they couldn't score touchdowns. They were kicking field goals. They're settling for 3. And I mean, that's ultimately what caught up to them, that and some timely turnovers. What do you think, Mike? Can Joe have the mojo going? What saith you?
Apparently his AC joint isn't the way it's supposed to be currently. So he's also battling a little bit of a shoulder injury. So, I would like to say the turnover battle and whose defense shows up is always going to be the difference in this game, because offensively, I think both teams have some pretty nice firepower. But I'm going to give the Bengals the edge being at home. And Jamar Chase, man, what a difference maker that guy is. Whenever I pick the Bengals game, I always think about him in the back of my head. He could make 2 explosives and have 2 touchdowns. So I'm just going to take the best receiver, I think, in the matchup, which is Jamar Chase and the Bengals.
Okay. I'm actually going to go ahead and say that the Bears, if Flacco doesn't play, then I'm going to feel real good about going with the Bears. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't. It doesn't hold a lot of water for me that the Bengals beat the Steelers. Like I've said this before, the matchups within your division, to me, they could happen with the flip of a coin, So I'm going to go with the Bears. I think they get it done. I think they can make a little bit of a run towards the playoffs. I don't ultimately know if that'll happen, but I do think that they win this week. And then Carolina travels to Green Bay to play the Packers. With this one, I think the Packers are just too much defensively. They are 5-1 on the year, 5-1-1, very quiet 5-1-1 actually, but they've just kind of taken care of business. I do have them beating the Panthers this week. What about you, Mike?
Is Cam Newton playing? No, I think Green Bay wins at Lambeau. They're 12.5 point favorites. So give me the Packers.
Oh, it says here, Jake Delhomme is actually starting for the Panthers. So does that change your pick?
Jake of the home. No, he's gonna be watching from his home and crying because the Panthers are gonna get bludgeoned.
Oh my goodness. All right. Denver. Oh boy. Denver at 6-2 travels to Houston to take on the Texans at 3-4. What do you think happens here?
The Texans are coming off a nice win, if I'm not mistaken. But I just think the Broncos are a good football team. They're well coached. They have a great running game with Dobbins and the RJ Harvey fellow who busted out a little bit last week. Quality receivers with Cortland Sutton, and then Franklin. He busted out a little again last week. He's in my dynasty team, and I think he's going to start earning some starts here shortly. But I think the Broncos are just a better football team, so I'll take the Broncos on the road.
I'll agree. I think the Achilles heel for Houston's that offensive line, and Denver's the best defensive front in football. Enough said. The question is, how many times does Stroud get hit, and how many times does he get sacked? Oh boy, I think he's in for a long day. Which is sad because Houston for me is they've improved greatly over the last few years. Love their coaching staff, but I just think it's just too much for them this week. So next would be the 49ers going against the Giants. They're going on the road. I think the Giants, they're trying to hold it all together, but losing Scottaboo last week was a big blow for them. I'm going to go with the Niners here.
Yeah, that's a giant task to beat the 49ers. I know they're at home, which helps a little bit. I think they're underdogs at home by 2.5. It looks like where I saw it most recently. But I just think, San Francisco, they'll run the ball. They'll eat some clock. They'll have Christian McCaffrey doing Christian McCaffrey things. And like you said, Jason, just the emotional blow, kind of like Lamar's giving the lift to the Ravens coming back from an injury. When you lose somebody who was up and coming like that, remember when the Ravens lost Keaton Mitchell, a couple years back? That was tough. Cam Scattaboo is a stud waiting to come and flower and blossom in this league. But obviously he's got a big setback here with this injury. So I think the Giants feel that emotionally, and there might be a little bit of a letdown this week. So give me the Niners.
Yep. Again, I will agree with you there, Mike. All right. Next up, we have the Colts traveling to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh here, 4-3, still atop the AFC North against probably the hottest team in football right now, which are the Indianapolis Colts, and probably one of the biggest surprises. I love what the Colts are doing on all aspects of it. Didn't think Daniel Jones would be this much of a savior for them, but I'm going to go with the Colts to knock off the Steelers and continue to put pressure on them.
That Daniel Jones, he's a hot fella. That's what you're saying, right? I think this is a classic. We shouldn't pick the Steelers game, and then they show up. This seems to me like the classic. we shouldn't pick them. The Colts are rolling, but then, oh, wait, we're the Steelers. So we figured out who we are for a week. And so I'm going to pick the Steelers at home. They're 3.5-point underdogs. I don't love it when the Steelers are underdogs at home. So I'm going to take the Steelers.
Wow. All right. That's an interesting one. Oh, no, I get it, though. I get your whole thing there. But I do think that the Colts will be saying, fare thee well.
Fare thee well, good steel makers.
Story. Oh, did you know? Are you aware? If I were to say to you right now, whither be the privies?
Oh, the bathroom. The bathroom.
How in the hell did you know that?
Oh, I knew.
You're privy to where the privies are.
I've seen a pirate movie now and then. Yeah.
Oh, this is great. These phones these days. Fabulous.
The Pittsburgh blacksmiths are going down.
That's great. All right. The Chargers are traveling to Tennessee. So I want you to also keep in mind, Mike, I'm going to need a survivor pick out of here as well. I'm still alive. There was a lot of people got knocked out last week, but going with the Colts kind of saved me. And I still have Kansas City and Buffalo left, but they're playing each other. We'll do that next. So I'm going to go with the Chargers on the road against Tennessee. I think Tennessee is very bad, but I also think the Chargers are playing pretty decent football right now. So we'll see.
I thought Daniel Jones was the only 10 I see, but apparently the Chargers are good at football and the Titans are bad at football. So I'm going to take the Chargers.
Yeah, there you go. Great minds, Mike. Great minds.
I'm taking a lot of road teams this week. That scares me a little in the NFL, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, so the Chargers are on my short list teams. Another team here, I can't pick them anyway, but the Saints go on the road, face the Rams. Saints have a new quarterback the rest of the way through. And I think, though, that I think the Rams are going to be too much for them defensively, and then Puka's coming back. So I'm going to go with the Rams fight.
Yeah. At least the Saints know they're going to heaven because that's the best thing they've got going for them these days right now. I didn't see how the Shuff guy, Shuffy, how did he play in relief of Rattler the other day?
I mean, nothing spectacular yet. I think a whole week of practice might be interesting. I have him in a dynasty league. I know some people, like if you're in a Superflex regular season draft league, if you have a bench spot and no one has got them yet, go ahead and snag them. Quarterbacks are very, very important the rest of the way, especially if you're making a run. I think they're trying to figure out if they have something or if they have to go and draft something next year, but nothing impressive as of yet.
Okay, so I'm going to go with, regardless, I'm going to go with the Rams. They're just offensively, defensively, they're a balanced team. Jared Verse rushing the quarterback. You've got, Stafford slinging the ball around to Nakua and Devontae Adams, and then Kieran Williams, running the heck out of the football. It's just a balanced football team right now. Saints are probably talking about which pieces they're going to deal right now, so that talk probably isn't helpful to a locker room. Alvin Kamara's name has been sent. I've heard that around, and I don't know if is it Cam Jordan? I don't know who's available. There's probably a lot of guys available.
I mean, Cam Jordan's a borderline Hall of Famer. He's New Orleans royalty. It'll be up to him if he wants to go or not. I believe he's already won a ring there. So it's just a matter if he wants to stick around or what. Kamara, I heard, does not want to be traded. He said he'll pretty much, if he's traded, he's going to go sip pina colada somewhere on a beach. So, okay. So the next game is hold on. Oh my gosh, my phone's doing weird things, Mike.
Oh, that sounded medieval, though, Jason.
I know. Isn't that funny? That's great. Good, sir. All right. I have the Jaguars traveling to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. And I'm going to go, even though I don't feel comfortable, like 100% comfortable with this because they didn't look great in their last game. But I'm going to go with the Jaguars, Mike. I do think that they are better than the Raiders are. But it'll be a close game. It'll be a toss-up here, but I'm going Jaguars.
Yeah, sometimes you do something and you just don't feel comfortable. I sliced my finger open with a pair of scissors this week, so I have to wipe my rear end with my opposite hand. And sometimes you just do things you have to do. So I also don't feel comfortable taking the Jaguars here, but they got to be better than the Raiders, right?
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm disturbed. I didn't realize you wiped with your hands. I thought you used toilet paper, Mike. That's quite nasty
I
there.
thought that
Remind me
was
not to
I thought
shake
that was
hands.
automatically assumed, but whatever.
Uh,
Everybody's different.
cool. You know what happens when you assume, Mike? It involves the same body part that you're wiping.
Yes, it does.
All
Out of
right.
you and me.
That's right. Okay. Probably the game of the week. I don't know how it's not on Sunday Night Football, but the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, both Chiefs are 5-3, Bills are 5-2. Oh boy, I don't even know where to start here. The Chiefs to me are, besides the Colts, probably one of the hotter teams in football, especially with Raji Rice coming back. I'm going to go with the Chiefs in a shootout. I do think that I'm going to go with the Chiefs. First gut reaction, although I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo wins it at home, and then has to go on the road and face Kansas City down the road anyway. But I'm going to go Chiefs.
Yeah, I can easily see why you picked the Chiefs, Jason. I mean, all signs point to Kansas City, up and coming, and there was questions early on if they were going to be any good, and then slowly they started to get a weapon back. They got Worthy back, and they got a little bit better, and then they got Rashee Rice back, and now they're even better, and they're kind of a juggernaut right now. Not so fast, my friend. You got to go into Buffalo and try to win a game. The Ravens tried to do that earlier this year, and it didn't go so well for them. I just like the Buffalo Bills at home, just with the emotion of the game. I feel like they haven't been playing particularly well, and they're due for a bounce back. And again, I'm not basing it on any crazy statistical evidence, just like the Steelers game. But I just feel like this is a good spot for Buffalo to kind of bounce back and get a quality win. So, and also, if Buffalo wins, they've beaten the Ravens and the Chiefs this year, which is a pretty good, resume moving into the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, it just like the way that I also picked this was it scares me to who I think I would not want to play. And I wouldn't mind playing the Bills again because they should have won. The Ravens should have won that game by double digits. The way they jumped out on them, if their defense was where I'm hoping they're going to be now and the rest of the year, back then, it would have been a completely different outcome. And I think the Chiefs can do that. They can close out in football games and they can score with the Bills. So for me, it's still a toss up, Mike. I could go either way, but I'm just going to go with the Chiefs because I think they're playing good football. And the last time we saw the Bills, they lost before their bye.
Did you say you don't mind playing the Bills or paying the Bills? I'm just curious.
I mind paying the Bills. I don't mind playing the Bills.
Oh,
and I do mind playing the Bills. If I had to choose.
Right.
Okay, Sunday Night Football. Seahawks travel to D.C. to take on the Commanders. I love the Seahawks. I really think. I mean, at 5-2, and the Commanders are not playing well right now. Defense of Seattle going on the road across country is tough, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks and what is a closer game, I think, because Jaden Daniels is coming back. But I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Yeah, this is a tough one to me. I keep going back and forth with this one. The fact that Jaden Daniels is playing makes me feel a little better. The Commanders have not played particularly well. The Chiefs game, the second half of that game was pretty awful, honestly. So that's the last memory I have of the Commanders right now. Seahawks have done a good job, 5-2 in the NFC West. That's a pretty good record, and I think they need to keep pace with the Rams, and I think they need this game. I believe they've already come across the country and won one this year already. I think they can do it again. Give me the Seahawks.
All right, fabulous. And Mike, Monday Night Football, Cowboys host the Cardinals. What do you think on this one?
I hate the Cowboys, but I'm going to pick them. I just don't think the Cardinals have anything great going for them right now. Just no mojo. And I think the Cowboys' offense is real. Dak Prescott has played really well. You have George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. That's a nice little wide receiver tandem down there. And those tight ends can catch the ball too and do a lot of different things. And you have the renaissance of Javonte Williams, who looks good again. So I just think their offense is too much for the Cardinals. So give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. But hark ye, I tell you, Mike, that the Cowboys, you can hate them, but I don't think they're as bad. I think their defense is pretty bad. It reminds me of the Ravens in certain areas, except when the Ravens make mistakes, we're just a colossal mistake. The Cowboys can score with any team in the NFL. The fact that they tied with the Packers blows my mind. So I don't know if they're a playoff team. There's still a lot of football left, like I said earlier. But I'm going to go, as far as this week goes, I'm going to go with the Cowboys over the Cardinals in what is a close game and somewhat high scoring. All right, that wraps up our Week 9 predictions. And this takes us into our first of 2 ballpark figures. And don't worry, Mike, I didn't choose the Orioles for you this week. I actually chose the Ravens this week. You look nervous. You look like you have
I'm always nervous when it's ballpark figures. I don't have any help. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Man. All right, where did my thing go? Here we go.
Uh-oh.
I need you to tell me. Don't worry. I know where it is. Who are the top 10? How am I going to say this? Who has scored the most touchdowns in Ravens history? Now, for quarterbacks, passes don't count. It has to be rushing or receiving or a defensive touchdown, whatever the case may be. Need to know the top 10, Mike.
All right. Jamal Lewis.
Jamal Lewis is number 2. All done, Mike.
Mark Andrews.
Number 1. Fantastic.
Todd Heap.
Todd Heap is number 4.
How about Derek Mason?
Derek Mason is number 8. You are flying through, Mike. Very impressed.
Yeah. Ray Rice.
Ray Rice is number 3. So you have the top 4.
I don't like it. I'd rather have like the 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Well, you do have.
Oh, goody. All right. Let me try to think here. Let's see.
There are 2 active players on this list, and you already named one of them.
Right.
Oh, when correct. I say active, I mean active with the Ravens.
Oh, okay. So there's another Raven that is currently existing.
Oh, I'm sorry. There are 2 more current Ravens. There are 3 total current Ravens on this list.
Wow. Well, Lamar must be on there then.
Is that a guess?
I don't know. It scares me then, what you're saying. Yes, it's a guess.
Your reaction scares me. Hark ye! You are correct.
Yes.
He's out twice now. He's number 6.
Wow. That's non-passing.
Non-passing.
That's crazy. So Lamar and I already said Mark Andrews were is there one more you said?
Yep.
There's one more. Wow. I must be missing somebody important.
I would say so, Mike.
I must be missing somebody important. Oh gosh. Let's go back a little ways. How about Torrey Smith?
Torrey Smith is number 7.
Sweet.
Look at you.
Torrey Smith. All right.
So you're missing number 5. You're missing number 9. And you're missing number 10.
10. All right. So there's another current Raven on the list. I don't think it's Bateman or Flowers. They haven't been there long enough. How about who else would be on that offense that would be scoring? Derrick Henry. Does he have that many already? Oh gosh. Stop doing this to me, Jason. Trying to think of other running backs that had a longer run, but there really weren't that many. McGahee had a pretty long run, but I don't think it was enough to accumulate. Le'Ron McLean had a bunch as a runner. Oh, man. Receiver-wise, Anquan Bolden is a name that I think of, but I don't know if he was here. Mark Clayton was here for a long time. He's a name that comes to mind. Let's go Clayton. Mark Clayton.
Mark Clayton. He is not in the top 10.
Phooey.
And if it makes you feel better, he's not in the top 25.
Oh, boy. That doesn't make me feel better. All right.
You have 1 strike.
Let's see. Well,
and just for the the record here, there's people were so I didn't have our chat up, but John picked all of his picks, so we'll have to take a picture of that. And then Mike DeMarco, is that one of your guys? One of your friends? He also made picks as well on who he thinks is going to win. So we'll let the listeners and the John play.
Oh, I love that.
It's outstanding.
I like that. That's fantastic. Keep on chiming in, listeners. You got things to say. You got to let us know what's going on. Like right now, if you wanted to tell me who you think scored a lot of touchdowns for the Ravens, I would 100% love to hear your thoughts on those things. All right. So, Heap, I already got Heap. Mike, I need something else from you, buddy.
So let me give you. I'll just give you. So you are missing. Look, you're only missing 3. So I don't want to give you too many clues just yet, but they all run the football.
All right. So let's go. I guess Derrick Henry. Give me Derrick Henry.
Number 10.
Is he already? He's only been here for a year. Plus
24 touchdowns.
Oh my God. He's so good at football. All right. Oh man. So we got Derrick Henry. Let's see. Let's think of the other running backs. What do we have here for a while? I said Jamal, right?
Yep. All your current Ravens are done.
I said Ray Rice.
Jamal. You said Ray Rice. You said Mark Andrews. You said Todd Heap. You said Lamar Jackson. You said Torrey Smith, Derek Mason, and you said Derrick Henry.
Is Le'Ron McClain on there?
Is that your guess?
Yes.
He's number 25.
Phooey.
With 14 touch goals.
14. That's pretty big. That's a lot. Just not enough.
Mm-hmm. No, not for this
list. Not enough. All right. Willis McGahee.
Number 5.
All
Number
right.
5. There's one fella that is a running back that you have not mentioned. He was with us for quite a while, and he went and played with a different team for just 1 year, and now he's currently out of football.
Oh boy. 1 year with a different team. Let's think. What era?
Recent. Within the last 10 years.
Mike, you're thinking Priest Holmes, but that's not it. Let's see.
I don't even think Priest is on there as far as that goes, because he scored a lot of touchdowns, but mainly for the Chiefs.
Did the Ravens draft this guy?
I believe he was a rookie free agent at that time.
Okay, a rookie free agent.
If they drafted him, it was super crazy late.
I'm struggling with this one, Jay. Chester Taylor comes to mind, but that couldn't be it.
You still have 2, so feel free to guess. Not sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. You
don't even know who to guess with.
He was here. That's right. I gotta have a name before I have a guess. So he was here for a few years, you said, and then he went elsewhere for a year.
He was here for about 5 years, and then spent a year elsewhere as the lead back for the majority of the year. Pardon me, he spent 6 seasons here.
Oh boy, that's a lot of seasons. Seems like I should know who that is.
800 carries, over 3,700 yards as a Raven.
Let's see. Who was pre-Ray Rice? Was he pre-Ray Rice or post-Ray Rice?
Post-Ray Rice.
Post-Ray Rice. Yeah. You're going to have to...
Think of Thunder and Lightning. He would be the Thunder.
He was the Thunder with the Lightning before the Thunder. So J.K. Dobbins was here, but he did not have enough touchdowns. Oh, it was Thunder and Lightning. Did he go to the Giants?
He did not.
Okay. I'm struggling, Jay.
He went out west.
This is bad radio right now because I've got no clue who it is currently.
Okay. So
did he go to Denver?
He played for the other Harbaugh.
Oh, is it a fullback? Is it what's his face? The fullback fella. Juszczyk.
No. Good guess though. But he
Oh,
coaches other football teams too, right? Like,
oh, Mark Ingram's a good guess, Mike, but I don't think that's him either.
Oh, Mike got it right.
Oh, is it Mark Ingram?
Nope, before that.
Oh, Gus Bus.
El Hunabus.
There it is. Good job, Mike.
Well done, Mike. Fantastic. Love the guesses. But yes, indeed, Gus Edwards, who scored 30 touchdowns for this football team.
That's amazing.
6 years he was here. I mean, he was the main back really for 2 years, essentially, with injuries and whatnot. So we had a lot of fun, Mike. You got all but one. Very impressed. You were flying through there for a while.
Yeah, I started hot, and then I grinded, ground to a halt.
Ground to a halteth. All right, Mike. It is your turn to host this segment. This one because it is Halloween. This one is called Trick or Treat, Mike. So tell me about this.
So this is in the spirit of Halloween. I'm going to give you some things that are opinions, and you're going to tell me, no, that's a trick. It's not right. Or yes, that's right. That's a treat. That's delicious. Let's do that. Okay?
All right.
So that's the deal right now. So you're knocking on doors saying trick or treat, and I'm the one giving you some things here. All right. So Lamar Jackson will stay healthy for the remainder of the season and not miss another game.
Can I say a caveat?
Well, I need to hear trick or treat.
I would say treat if they win tonight. If they lose, I say trick. And then he's mysteriously injured for the rest of the year.
Did he accidentally step in a pothole?
Right. It's like he's hanging out with Ubaldo too much down at the stadium. No, I'm going with trick. Or I'm sorry, treat.
When you're out Halloween candy hunting and you go knock on the door, there's no time for caveats.
I know.
It's trick or treat. Candy or no?
We're going treat.
All right, let's go to baseball. Trey Savage pitched a gem last night with 12 strikeouts. Is he a Cy Young contender next year?
Yes, a contender. Yes. Treat
it is. Derrick Henry will rush for 100-plus yards tonight. Trick or treat?
Treat.
Ooh, I like that. Birthday boy, our new manager, Craig Albernaz, will lead the Orioles to a 90-plus win season and a playoff berth next year. Trick or treat?
Oh, 90-plus wins. Because I think that I'm starting to believe everything I'm saying and the pressure's on the front office, I'm going to say treat.
Lots of treats. I want to come to your house right now, Jason.
We have those full candy bars. No, we don't have those. But your neighborhood does, Mike.
Yes, some of the big houses do on the far side. Some houses are dealing veggie straws like us. So you got to watch out for the. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have veggie straws. We got the discount candy. All right. Keaton Mitchell has at least 5 touches tonight. Trick or treat?
Treat.
I mean,
I think they unlocked something last week.
He had 3 last week, I think, right? And then he had the special teams plays.
We're going to get a treat.
Homecoming this weekend for the Maryland Terrapins football team. The Terrapins. They will cover the 21.5-point spread versus Indiana Saturday at 3:30.
I'm going to say treat because I think this game could get very interesting. I've been telling you guys that every once in a while the Big Ten throws out this team that like goes on these runs. It's like small school or the school that isn't usually crazy at the top 10. I think it could be Indiana. I think this game's going to be close for the majority of the game. So treat. They will cover.
Yeah, I actually got a good feeling about this one. I don't know why, but I have a sneaky good feeling. You're hearing all these Maryland guys talking about wanting to be there for real for a while. So we'll see if this is one that can jumpstart the engine for the Terps. All right. John Harbaugh will be hosting a playoff game against the likes of the Pats or the Chargers this year, but obviously sporting an inferior record. Trick or treat?
Oh, man. Oh, that's going to be tough. I don't know, Mike. Like, see, this is a caveat one. I'm going to say trick. And the reason I'm going to say trick is because I think they will host the playoff game, so they're going to win the division. I am convinced they're winning the division. But I don't necessarily think that their record will be less than the Pats or somebody else. I think that they could still lose a couple games here now.
Okay. The Ravens will trade either Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, or Kyle Van Noy before November 4th.
No, none. Trick.
Trick. Those Ravens are tricking us. All right. Buzz Williams and the Terps barely scraped by UMBC 82-81 in their exhibition game on Monday. Maryland will figure it out and have a 500 record or better in Big Ten play this season.
I'm going to go with Treat. I do think that they will finish at least 500. I'm very optimistic about this team. And I think Buzz his track record speaks for itself. He'll have these guys ready.
I don't know what you're drinking over there, but I like it. Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, or Jermaine Johnson will be traded this week. Trick or treat?
Treat. I think one of those three will get traded. I don't think it'll be Max Crosby. I think it might be Johnson. And, I mean, Hendrickson, it depends if the Bengals lose or not.
John will sell 3+ cars this weekend. Trick or treat?
Trick. That's a lot of cars. I don't think he does it because I think he only works one day in the weekend, right?
Yeah,
So
John, you hear that? Jason doesn't believe in you. I just wanted to let you
John.
know if you're listening, John. Sorry.
3 in a day, buddy? I'm not so sure.
All right, Teddy Buchanan was named the AFC Defensive Rookie of the Month. He'll be the starter next to Roquan Smith for the foreseeable future. Trick or treat?
Is he healthy? I guess if he's healthy, wasn't he on the injury report, I thought?
Yeah, I'm not talking about tonight. I'm talking about for the foreseeable future.
Correct. Yes. Treat, if you will.
Okay. Fresh off the Game 5 win, the Blue Jays will finish off the Fall Classic with a third straight win over the Dodgers when they play, I believe, tomorrow night.
Trick. I think it goes 7 games.
Okay. The Dodgers bats need to come back to life. Mookie Betts has been back to the struggle bus.
Well, it helps having the greatest player in Major League Baseball history potentially on your team.
It seems to be
Right.
helpful. If the Ravens lose tonight, you will be taking all of the games, ping pong, and TV out of your house.
Oh, man, no. Trick. That sounds terrible.
All right. That's all I got. Because Lamar said
man.
that's what he was doing after the Ravens went on that losing streak.
I love how all that went down. And then the poor coaching staff, man, when our Ravens fans are like sharks in the water. As soon as something like someone's injured, they just want to, or something happens or someone's bleeding, they want to attack. And everyone was so quick to jump on the coaching staff. And the coaching staff was like, what the hell? And you know what, though? Shows how classy some of those guys are. They didn't even say anything. They let them they took the heat for that crap till someone directly asked John Harbaugh. He's like, yeah, it wasn't me, man. But he didn't come out and say anything, didn't defend himself.
There's a lot to be said. There's a lot to be said for that character-wise. And one other thing, I don't know if you saw, and I've seen it on multiple sources, so I assume it's true. Did you see Nnamdi Madubuike gave back part of his bonus to add to the salary cap once he got hurt this year? That was interesting.
Wow.
I saw it was $250,000 that he cut a check back to the Ravens because his injury impacted the team this year, and he felt like he needed to help in some way.
Oh man, no, that's outstanding, and you don't have to do that. You earn that money, like whatever you're getting paid, you earned it. So it shows a lot if you're willing to do that. Oh man, all right. So I guess it takes us again in the spirit of Halloween, Mike, Hallows Eve, if you will. We are doing the top 5 scariest players in NFL history. Do you want to just go 1 for 1 in this scenario? And would you like to?
Let's do it. I throw one, you throw one. You throw one, I throw one.
That's fantastic.
It'll be very scary. Okay. I'm going backwards. I think I'm going to work backwards towards number 1. So
okay.
My number 5 is Warren Sapp of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's scary looking, and also if he was running at me, I would lay down and pretend to be dead. I think.
Oh my gosh. So we thinking when we're saying scariest, we're just saying like like intimidate. Like you don't want to get hit by them. You don't want to be around them.
It's your definition, Jason.
Okay.
It's kind of open to interpretation.
I'm gonna go. Ooh, I don't know if this is my number 5 guy or not. But I'm gonna go with Jim Brown. I think Jim Brown terrified defensive players for a very long time. I never got to see him play other than in video, but Jim Brown would be my number 5. It just as the greatest running back in the NFL history.
All right, why don't you give us your number 4?
Number 4 for me. Let's see. I wrote these guys down here. Number 4 for me would be Ray Lewis. My favorite football player of all time by far. Terrifying if you're lining up on the other side. And one of the greatest leaders in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, he's going to hit you hard.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy who would hit you hard is Jack Lambert of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was a bone crusher as well. He's my number 4 guy. Also, that toothless grin that he kind of had, just kind of scary. Just scary fella.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my number 3. Yeah, my number 3 is the Minister of Defense, Reggie White. You don't want to see that big fella coming after you if you're a quarterback, because most likely it ends up on you being on the ground feeling some pain. Reggie White.
Are we trying not to have repeats? Are we trying to do, or does it matter?
Up to you.
It's
I
our
have
list.
a couple that you. Yeah, I've got a couple. I mean, maybe you could just say that you had somebody on my list and replace them if you want to.
The only reason I have this guy in front of Ray Lewis is because he didn't play for the Ravens. Terrified me all the time. James Harrison, who used to be a Raven and then was cut, but James Harrison made me tinkle myself many times.
Yes, as a fan, which is I can't even imagine being on the field with him. So, LT Lawrence Taylor, that guy, he was just a wrecking crew, and he gave how many Fs did he give? 0 Fs.
Oh,
he
man.
was just coming after you and just taking you down, and just speed and power all in one. Besides Ray, just one of the best linebackers of all time. And brush ends, I guess you would say as well.
No kidding. So where are we at now? What number?
I've given 4. Where are you at? You gotta give me your top 2.
Oh, I got to do one more. That'll be my 4th. Dick Butkus. Holy crap! Like back in the day, I mean that type of. I mean, football was so scary back then. Like you could pretty much do whatever you wanted to tackle somebody. But yeah, Dick Butkus for sure.
He was probably wearing a helmet that looks like your hat.
Yes. And my number 1 is going to sound very familiar to yours. Lawrence Taylor, by far, for me, is the scariest NFL player of all times. Scariest looking guy would probably be Terrell Suggs, but scariest player of all time for me would be Lawrence Taylor.
And I had Ray Lewis as my number 1 scariest player of all time, but I'm also a homer, so I love Ray Lewis, but I don't want to go against him if I'm a running back or a wide receiver or a tight end going across the middle. But I had some honorable mention. All of my guys were defensive guys, so I thought I'd throw a couple honorable mention offensive guys. 2 running backs. Marshawn Lynch. Remember the beast mode with Marshawn Lynch? I mean, I don't think you can forget that play in the playoffs. And then the bus, Jerome Bettis. He would run your rear end over, especially early in his career. I was thinking Jerome Bettis was a truck coming at you.
Oh, man. I would say Aaron Donald is an honorable mention. And then because I was terrified. Now, this would be as a fan, just being terrified and knowing the outcome before we even played of how it was going to go down. Peyton Manning, playing Peyton Manning, I was like, oh, no. And that's how I kind of feel now with Patrick Mahomes, and it's really pissing me off. Not as much Josh Allen yet, but, I mean, we're getting close. So
yeah, I mean, and if you're going to talk about that kind of feeling, Hines Ward, oh, my God, that guy. He would smile at you and then, kick you in the where and then go take the ball from you and make the play that made the game. And he was one of those guys as well.
Yep. You could have the quiet, scary guys. Quiet, scary guy like Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the deadliest that you can get, Oh, boy.
SBD, they call it, right? Silent but deadly.
Right. Silent but deadly. All right.
I let a few of those out in my day.
I'm sure you have. Okay, so I did want to touch on the O's a little bit. We don't have to go too long because we don't have too much time left. But the O's did hire a new manager, as you and John briefly talked about. I talked about the other day by myself. And then we were gracious. Steve Molesky was gracious enough with his time, longtime Oriole broadcaster and writer, to come on the show with me and to go over his views of the Orioles' new manager and the Orioles' off-season plans. You can find that in our podcast on Apple Podcasts, on all the places you find your podcast, on our Facebook page. It's there as well. You'll see me jumping around doing all kinds of stuff. So if you want to go back and listen to that, please feel free. While you're on there, give us a couple likes, some follows, some 5-star reviews, anything you can. It really helps us out. That's my pitch. So Craig Alvarez, Mike, was not on your bingo card, was not on my bingo card. Sure as hell wasn't on John Lanscraner's bingo card, as I thought he was going to have a coronary. But he was on, like I said the other day on the show, Andy Koskis from the Baltimore Banner had mentioned him, and I had looked up some information. And what I had found, it was that he was hired, or he was the front runner for 2 jobs that he pulled his name out of last year, the Marlins and the White Sox. And for me, that speaks volumes, that a guy has enough cojones and confidence in himself to say, you know what, it's not the right fit right now. So he pulls himself out of that, goes back to spending time in Cleveland with his best friend, gets a promotion doing so, puts himself in prime shape, and could have chosen 9 different jobs. I don't know if he could have had the choice between, but there were 9 openings, and he chose the Baltimore Orioles. So for me, I'm actually pretty excited. The more time goes on, I'm not sure how you feel, Mike, but I know you wanted one of the old veterans that may or may not have lived past the end of the season, but I'm going to let you go, man.
Okay. Well, they may be out to pasture, but the one thing about, and I heard, Steve talk to you about this, was like, who says those guys want to manage again at 70 plus years old? So that's part of the equation. But I'm with you, Jason. I know John and I discussed this the other night, but just knowing that he was so sought after is something that makes me excited about it. And the fact that the Guardians were willing to give him a promotion to keep him within the organization tells me maybe they even had him handpicked maybe as Stephen Vogt's predecessor. And for all of these different organizations to see something in him, as somebody who's interviewed people before in like my athletic director role, it's like, hey, that guy must have something that people really, really like. So to me, that part of it's exciting. The part of it that scares me is just obviously the lack of managerial experience in general. It's just knowing how to I think the relationship piece and the baseball piece, all that's good, but can he manage a bullpen? Can he manage, the lineup and the rotation and the roster the way that you need to manipulate it? But with the help of, Elias and these other baseball guys in the operations side of things, I think he should be set up well for success. But we were hoping for like a sounding board, right? Like a different kind of voice, someone who might bring a difference of opinion, maybe an old school mentality. That's not probably what we're getting with this Craig Alcaraz or managed Albernaz. I can never say his name right. Albernaz.
Did you say Alcatraz?
Alcatraz, yeah, Craig Alcatraz.
Yes.
Well, I mean, San Francisco had a young hire as well, and then you saw the Nats today with a very young hire of a 33-year-old. So, like, you're seeing a youth movement really in Major League Baseball right now in these managerial cycles. You're seeing the pattern before was to just hire these guys over and over again, and now you're seeing a little creativity in trying to hire college guys or younger baseball guys who have shown promise, and you're seeing that now in Major League Baseball this offseason with some pretty good jobs going to some pretty young guys.
Yeah, and the thing with me here is he apparently you have to start somewhere, right? So you have to get your first managing job at some point. So who's going to take a chance? And the opportunity was here. Why not us? Why not the Orioles? Why not offer that for a guy to be his first job? And it's not his first managerial job. It's just his first Major League Baseball managerial job. His only stint as a manager in minor leagues, they won the championship. And so that could say a lot. I mean, you're still managing bullpens down there. You're still doing all the concerns. What concerns me about the other guys, and there were some good candidates out there, but if you all those other retreads, you call them retreads, veteran managers, they all have warts, right? They all have something you could say we don't like about this. Blah, blah. This guy doesn't have any warts yet because he hasn't done it yet. So you're taking a chance by doing this. And it sounds like they're going to surround him with a decent coaching staff. They're letting him have some input in that. It sounds like I know there's still some guys that may be up in the air whether or not they come back. But no, I really like it. I think that the ability, what Stephen Vogt, I think is going to be in Cleveland for as long as he wants to be, unless they like have a terrible season, right? But the Giants, the Rays, the Indians, pardon me, the Guardians, all these places he came from, good organizations. They good as far as bringing people up, getting the best out of their people. I have no complaints over his background and why they made that decision. So
yeah, I guess the only concern, I mean, all of those organizations, the Guardians and the Rays particularly, that's really Mike Elias style. It's just like, hey, let's just build from within. I still wonder if we're going to go and get those free agents that we've been clamoring for, because to me, they hired a manager that's used to the mold that we're used to. And so that's the big question I have.
I just think they have to. And this is the hill I'm dying on, that Mike Elias has to. There's no other choice here. If you want to be in Major League Baseball for an extended period of time, you're going to have to make a decision here, because I'm not saying go out and spend $500 million on 3 players or 2 players. I think that could be to a detriment. But getting a bat, you need at least, I think, 2 starters and a bat, and you need to rebuild your bullpen. So I don't know how they're going to do it, if it's going to be through trade and whatnot. One of the things I did want your opinion on, because you were all about this back in 2024. You were a big fan of Tarek Skubal, who I am as well. And I had kind of mentioned this the other day, and I heard John say it, that they were interested in trade. And I'm going to go off on this again. Everyone's interested in Tarek Skubal, by the way. If you're not going to have a job much longer.
I'm interested in Paul Skeens also.
Right. So here's the thing. Would it be great to have a pitcher like that? Absolutely. If you're just giving up prospects, your top prospect, whatever, sign me up and one position player. But if you're stealing from Peter to pay Paul, and you're getting rid of now you have to replace your offensive positions, and you're not going to do it through free agency, you can't do that. Like, you can't get rid of Kowser, Mayo, prospects, and then not sign anyone. Okay, so that's what I was going off my tangent the other day. But I guess my point here is Scuba would be great. Paul Skeens would be great. When was the last time, though, that a Major League Baseball team that made it to the World Series or won it had to have the best pitchers in baseball? One of the top 2 or 3 base. You know what I mean? Most of the time they don't, unless you're the Dodgers, because you have a good line, you have money spent elsewhere, and it's usually balanced out. So we don't necessarily need to have the best pitcher in baseball to win the World Series. Need an upgrade.
Well, look at the Blue Jays right now. They have a bunch of number 2s and 3s. That's what we would have to do. You have Trevor Rogers, you have Kyle Bradish. We don't know what Grayson Rodriguez is going to be. But like, I'd rather see them. I mean, Shane Bieber is not attached to a qualifying offer. He makes a lot of sense to me. A lot of those other guys, you know how the Orioles hate the qualifying offers. So you might not see a Dylan Cease or one of those guys that you have to give up a draft pick for. And then there's been rumors about like Hunter Green from the Reds. Like, I'd be curious to see what some of these other players, you had talked about some of the Marlins guys, Alcantara, what do those guys cost? And if you only have to give up one player or a couple players in your farm system to get these guys, you just restocked your farm system at the trade deadline. You have a ton of assets to deal from. So go ahead and dip a little bit into that, and then find a number 2 or a number 3, Jason, to your point, versus selling the farm for a number 1 who's going to have an arm injury in 2 years, and then you lost everything. So I just think, to me, it makes a ton of sense to maybe sign one Bieber type in free agency and then trade for one maybe in a way like that. And then you've kind of, as you and Steve talked about, You need 10. You need 12. You need a depth of starting pitching to get through a season.
Yeah, and the thing is, we do kind of have to look past this year as well because Bradish is going to be a free agent coming up in the next couple of years, but Rogers is after this year. And so if you're getting more 1-year guys, you're eventually they're all going to go to free agency at the same time. You're not going to have anyone. So if they want to make the decision that if they identify that Dylan Cease is their is going to be the guy they need for the next 5 years or 4 years, they should go get him. And then, or the same with Bieber, who I think, again, I'll say it again, will be the steal of free agency this year, is my prediction. And then there's other guys like Zach Gallen, who I don't think is going to cost as much as everyone originally thought. So, or Merrill Kelly, like guys like that can help strengthen the back end of your bullpen or your rotation as well. But you do need to address, you need to get at least one guy that's a top 2 starter in my mind. You want to be like the Blue Jays? I think Bradish is an ace in Major League Baseball. So he's your number 1. If Trevor Rogers pitches like that again, he's an ace. So now you have 2 aces. So it's just what you have to make a move with someone. I don't care about the qualifying offers. You're right. You're saying the same thing I said the other day about you just restocked your farm system. This could be the year where you're okay with one of the picks going away. At least that's my thought process.
I like it.
Yeah.
We shall see, Jason.
I know, man. And again, see, I really am hoping, though, that because what is it, 5 days after the World Series free agency opens, I'm hoping they hit the ground running, identify what you want, and be aggressive one way or another. You know, if you miss out on guys because they want to go spend time with their family in Arizona instead of hanging out with you in Baltimore, by all means. At least you tried, but go identify them. If you can't get them, you got to go get people they don't want to come here, you got to make them come here by trading for them. So that's my thought process.
Yeah, you got to get duct tape and you take it and you put it around both their wrists. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what you do.
John,
I watched Horrible Bosses last night, so I have some bad ideas in my head. It's
John,
a great,
kidding.
great...
Don't go to Home Depot. Don't get that stuff. You put on a list once you buy those things. So
hey, does this rag smell like chloroform?
It's like bleach, and I bought bleach, a shovel, and duct tape. Oh, terrific. Awesome. So glad to hear it. Oh, boy. Well, we're on the rails here. Okay, last segment. It is my turn to play ballpark figures. If Mike made the list, who is it? Is it Orioles? Do I get to find?
It is. Yes, it's Orioles. I know you're like a kid in a candy shop.
I know. I'm probably going to screw it up.
All right. We're going to get this in before I got to go to soccer practice.
Yeah.
I got a big Halloween practice with my little 6'7". I got to go take care of business. But here we go. Defensive WAR by Orioles players. This is overall, all time. Defensive WAR. Top 10 players from the Baltimore Orioles. So think defense.
That also pitching? Does that count?
Yeah, no, just think defense.
Okay. Luis Aparicio.
Dude, he's number 11.
First guess.
He is number 11 with 8.9 WAR.
Brooks Robinson.
Brooks Robinson's number 2, 39.1.
Mark Belanger.
He's number 1, 39.5.
Wait, where was Brooks Robinson? Number what?
Number 2, 39.1. Okay.
Paul Blair.
Number 5, Paul Blair, 18.5 WAR.
Who else is on this list? Let's see. Are there a lot of recent players on here or not? Not as much.
You would know every name on this list, I think, except maybe one, but you might know him. Sure.
Okay. Adam Jones.
I took the top 21. He is not on the list. Sorry. Think Cal. Yes, Cal Ripken is on here. He is number 3 all time, 35.7.
What if like a player only played like 3 years there? Is that realistic?
I don't think it's horrible. There's some that have only played a handful of years here.
Like Robbie Alomar?
I think he's probably a little too light.
Oh, he had like 3 Gold Gloves.
Yeah, but remember it's cumulative wars.
Right.
So
Okay. Mike Bordick.
yes, he's number 10. He is 9.8 cumulative war, defensive war. So you have, let me reset. You have Belanger at 1, Brooks at 2, Cal at 3, Blair at 5, and you have Bordick at 10.
Manny Machado?
Manny Machado is number 8 with 11.2 defensive war.
Mainly outfielders, infielders?
Infielder, catcher.
Catcher.
I'm not sure about the other guy.
Fudge.
I might give you Louis Aparicio because I don't know the other guy. So
who is it? Just tell me who the other guy is. Just out of curiosity.
Bobby Wallace.
No, I want to guess that.
He's number 4.
Okay. So you said a catcher. How many more do I have?
You've got 1, 2, 3. 3 more.
Okay. Matt Wieters?
Yes, Matt Wieters. No, I lied. He's tied. He's tied for 11. So I'm going to keep that strike alive. He and Louis Aparicio are both at 8.9.
So that's not the catcher you were saying, though.
Nope, not the one.
Oh man, what other catchers? See, I'm like leaning like Charles Johnson. Sadly, hasn't played enough. I don't know. All right, I'll come back to that. Outfielders? Am I missing outfielders?
You're missing a shortstop, a catcher. I think he's a second baseman. Again, you're a better Oriole guy than I am. I can look it up real quick.
Mike Bordick, Cal Ripken, Luis Aparicio, Belanger.
Yes, this is a second baseman. JJ Hardy is number 9. Okay. He is number 9 with 11 wins above replacement defensively. So you're missing number 7 and number 6.
Oh my gosh.
A catcher and a second baseman.
How old is the catcher? Like old?
He's still alive.
He's still alive. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not Brooke Fordyce.
No, it's not Brooke Fordyce.
That's
it's not him. He is not him. Thou isn't him.
Thou isn't him. You said a second baseman?
Yep, second baseman and a catcher.
Davey Johnson?
No, that's a strike. The second baseman sounds like somebody from a Christmas movie.
What in the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. I hear Cole. He's excited about it.
He is very excited. Second baseman. I don't know, Mike. You're going to have to help me out, I think.
All right. You're a mean one.
Mr. Gritch. Oh, Bobby Gritch?
Bobby Gritch is number 7 with a 11.5 WAR, and you're missing number 6 all time. He's known more for his antics during rain delay, than his catching sometimes.
I didn't even know
he was a
defensive catcher.
14.3 cumulative defensive WAR. Rick Dempsey.
Oh, outstanding! All right. Well, that brings us to the end here. Yes, go Ravens tonight. All that fun stuff. I mean, I would like to see the Blue Jays, I think, win the World Series. So we'll see how that goes next time we are here. Let's see. Okay, Mike. So I have to hit this little button thingy here.
Hopefully the outro plays. We'll see what happens. Maybe.
Did you speak during the outro as well?
We'll see.
Oh, I guess we'll see. Know. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. For Mike, this is Jason. You guys have a great evening and enjoy the football game. Oh no, Mike. I don't know how to do it. Mike, look what's happening. Hold on.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do, man.
Where's the
Oh, this is
outro
good.
button? There's
So
no end
it
stream
says
and hit the
video up. I
outro.
just click outro, right?
Go for it.
It's not clickable.
If you click end stream, will it say end stream and click outro? Who knows?
Well, let's see. Well, we're gonna give it a shot.
That's what it did with the intro.
Oh yeah, it did. All right. Again, sorry everyone. Great podcasting. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to subscribe to Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports on Red Circle, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your free podcasts. And while you're at it, leave us a review. It really helps us out. We're trying to spread the good word about Baltimore sports far and wide. Follow us on social media for more behind-the-scenes actions, memes, and bad sports takes. You can find us at Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports on Instagram, and Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports on our Facebook page. Until next time, keep rocking those dad bods, eating those crab cakes, and never miss the game.